Kyrie Irving is easily one of the most electrifying players to ever step on an NBA court when he's in the zone. His skill level is right up there with the best in the game. But it's not just Kyrie's on-court moves that get attention. His off-court actions have sparked just as many headlines. And over time, that's shaped the way fans and legends alike see him. So, what do NBA greats really think about Kyrie Irving? From heartfelt praise to sharp criticism, there's no shortage of opinions. Take Bill Walton, for example, a Hall of Fame big man and one of basketball's most colorful personalities. He's long admired Kyrie's game. But when Kyrie landed in Dallas alongside Luka Doncic, Walton expressed some doubts, with two ball-dominant stars sharing the spotlight. Walton wasn't convinced the pairing would click.
Mark Cuban, he's got an ultimate challenge on his hand right now because he's got a brilliant player. He's got a fantastic team and franchise and fan base right now that is full of hope and opportunity and purpose, all the things that the NBA gives to us on an everyday basis. But now he's bringing in the great unknown. And unless Kyrie is willing to sacrifice and say, how can I live my life through you guys? Because if that happens, things can be magical. If they have enough talent, if they can control the paint, if they can get some chemistry going between two ball-dominant players. And then you've got to have the other guys who are willing role players for Luka right now. Then they have to change and adjust and accept and all that stuff that goes into the team dynamic. But ultimately, it comes down to three very simple things: sacrifice, discipline, and honor. Do you want to win, and are you willing to do anything that it takes to get that done?
Thomas is a name that stands tall among the greatest guards in NBA history, renowned for his razor-sharp playmaking and fearless drives. Thomas had a knack for throwing defenses into complete disarray, and he did it all during an era that was slower, grittier, and far more physical than today's game. So when someone like Isaiah is asked which modern players remind him of his own game, you know the answer carries weight. And according to the legend himself, two names came to mind.
I'll put it this way. I like watching Kyrie Irving play.
That's who I was, because he had a rock like you.
Yeah, I like watching Steph Curry play. Now, I don't know if I played as good as them, but I like watching them two guys play. I always thought that, and I looked at our era, and I looked at myself as very unique. I looked at myself as a player, as a Picasso, as an original.
Right.
And so I'll go back to those five players that we named earlier: Kareem, Magic, Bird, Dr. J, Michael Jordan.
Okay.
None of them played like each other. Everybody was kind of an original.
Right.
And when I came into the NBA, I looked at myself as an original. So when I look at the NBA right now, I do see some guys carving out their originality in their own space.
Right.
I think Steph Curry has done it. I think Kyrie has done it. Other guards, they're still trying to get there. And I'm not talking about now somebody say, oh, you don't like Harden and all that. No, that ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying when you look at, guys that have done things that I just haven't seen, like some stuff that Kyrie do with the basketball, I haven't seen that.
It does like he got on the string at times.
It's a little different. It looked like he dancing with it or something. Right?
Zekris, Webber is often mentioned among the best NBA stars who never captured a championship ring. Reflecting on his career, Webber has admitted that at times he stuck around in certain situations longer than he should have. And from those experiences, he's gained some valuable insight when talking about today's players. Webber gave a shout-out to Kyrie Irving and James Harden, calling them two of his favorites to watch. But alongside the praise came a piece of seasoned advice: know when it's time to move on.
I like Jokic. I like Embiid when he going to work in the post. I love watching Simmons on the break when he has the ball. Harden, Kyrie with their handles. It's so funny beginning of the season. So, I did a movie with Kyrie, but I don't know him. I don't know if I ever talked to him on the phone. You know what I mean? I got respect for these guys, but I don't know them like that. So at the beginning of the season, I'm with him and Harden. I'm saying Harden should get out of Houston. It's messed up. He has a black coach, but Steven Silas gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And did they hire the black coach just so I can give you the guilt of the black player?
Right.
Like we don't, you know what I'm saying?
Know how that went.
I'm like, Harden, get out of there, dog. Because at the end, we gonna say you was a loser because you stayed with this team. I know a little about that.
Right.
So I'm like, Harden is the call. Well, we don't know what he taught. Basketball players shouldn't do this. Then Kyrie, you know, I'm like, he's incredible. I know he against the media and we on the media side now, whatever. But I get it, you know. And I think if the media looked at different personalities like wrestling. You know what I mean? Like the Iron Sheik, you know, he over there. Nikolai Volkov, he from Russia. Like Kyrie, he got a walking stick and he don't talk. Use that. You know what I mean? Like don't make him like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember the beginning of the season saying, man, they're gonna be cold. And I remember just seeing the hate from the media toward. And I was like, oh yeah, snap out of it. Remember that, you know, everybody got their ulterior motives with it. And it's funny, I said all that to say, it's funny that everybody loved, you know, Kyrie should be MVP or Harden, him going there, getting assists. Like, that don't surprise me. No one blamed D'Antoni for the way Harden played.
Right. Nobody did.
Nobody. D'Antoni wanted him to play that way. He would tell us, like, blame it on me. And so for, you know, players today, I love the young ones and I also love the older ones that had to go find their way and still reinventing themselves. And to me, Harden and Kyrie, those are my two of my favorites to watch. Booker. A lot of boys.
Stefan Jackson chimed in right after Chris Webber's comments, offering his own quick take on Kyrie Irving's situation. Never one to shy away from speaking his mind, Jackson kept it short but pointed, acknowledging Kyrie's talent while hinting that navigating the off-court noise is just as crucial as performing on the hardwood. Next VOC over the years, Kenyon Martin hasn't held back when talking about Kyrie Irving, but he's always kept it real. Whether it's praise or critique, Martin calls it like he sees it. And while we'll get into some of the more critical takes on Kyrie later in the video, let's take a moment to highlight the respect Martin has shown. When asked about Kyrie's game, Martin didn't hesitate to give credit where it's due, praising Kyrie's skill set and calling him one of the most gifted players in the league. Today,
I talk to Kyrie all the time, so, you know, we all been misunderstood, and that's just it. But when it comes to playing basketball, you can't tell him that.
Scottie Pippen didn't hold back when it came to criticizing Kyrie Irving. Back when Kyrie was leading the Boston Celtics, he made headlines for walking off the court with 10 seconds, still left in a game against the Milwaukee Bucks, while the outcome was already decided. The gesture rubbed many people the wrong way. Among the critics was none other than Pippen himself. As a former leader of championship teams, Scottie believed Kyrie's exit sent the wrong message, especially coming from the face of the franchise.
Is Luka the best player on his team?
Is he?
Production-wise. I didn't ask you that. Enough said, but in the MVP vote, he's the fourth best player in the NBA compared to the list from the other day. He in the MVP conversation, and in my opinion, I don't think he's the best player on his basketball team. But that's for never mind. Move on. Just sip my tea. This is.
So who's the best player on the Mavs if Luka's not?
Hey, I know one. I put it like this. You know, when people be talking about one-on-one, I know if you ask Dinwiddie who's the best one-on-one player there, I guarantee it won't be who they think it is. It won't be Luka.
You know what I'm saying? Guarantee you line them up, let them play ones.
Oh, he couldn't be. Dinwiddie said, "Oh, he got mopped every time."
Yeah, every time, dog. And you line him up against Kyrie, it'll be listen. He might don't touch the ball. If you give Kyrie the ball first, Luka won't touch the ball.
11-0?
Hey.
Luka can't guard this goddamn camera stand.
Hey, no, but that's the when they say where y'all ring Dinwiddie, all right,
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Be him.
That's all I'm saying.
That's that value. That's that value.
Is Luka good? Absolutely. Good for his team.
Is different.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing with real basketball people. Like, if your numbers don't equate to something, they just numbers. And I look at you, who you are and what you're doing, and I look at Kyrie like, Yeah, give me 11.
Yep.
Give me number 11.
Interestingly, Stephen Jackson stepped in to defend Kyrie's actions. Jackson admitted he'd done the same thing in the past, walking off the court when he believed the game was already over. To him, it wasn't about disrespect. It was just a moment of frustration or misjudgment, something that happens in the heat of competition.
Yes.
Why?
I've experienced that before when you kick a team's butt and they turn and walk into the locker room. You know, stay out there with your teammates, take the beating, let the buzzer finish and walk away like a man, and then you don't have to deal with those questions from the media as well.
There's one NBA legend from the 1970s who's firmly in Kyrie Irving's corner. It's Julius, Dr. J. Irving. From the moment Kyrie stepped into the league, Dr. J recognized something special. He's long admired Kyrie's skill, creativity, and flair, believing in his potential even when others doubted. For Dr. J, Kyrie isn't just talented, he's a rare kind of player who brings artistry to the game